Okay, guys. Uh, the video today will be about the Pia Mater, and I'm gonna talk about a few parts of the Pia Mater, and then I think that will be interesting for you if you can also make a diagram like this one and try to label the diagram because it will help you to memorize the structures. Is you are putting the your skills in practice in some way. Okay, so Pia Mater, I already talked about the Dura Mater, Arachnoid Mater, and now is the Pia Mater. And the Pia Mater is the probably is the most delicate layer of the meninges, and is highly vascularized membrane that it will closely adhere to the surface of the spinal cord. And the Pia Mater is actually rich in blood vessels, which helps the spinal cord supplying with nutrients and oxygen. And the Pia Mater will extend over the ventral and the dorsal roots of the spinal nerves, and it will provide support and protection to these structures. And the membrane, this membrane in specific, forms what we call several important fibrous bands that will play a crucial role in stabilizing the spinal cord and organizing the surrounding space. And talking about these bands, let's start with the first one. The first one that is, let me just grab this pen. The first one is this one. Okay, I'm gonna start with this one. And this is the first band that I will be talking during this lecture. Okay, let me just do all over the spinal cord. Okay, here, here, and also here. Okay, and this is just a second. This is the Pia Mater. The Pia Mater on the surface of the spinal cord. Let me just label with this pen. The Pia Mater. Pia Mater. Oops, I put together. So let me just do this. Pia Mater. Okay. The Pia Mater on the surface of the spinal cord. Okay, what else? We have here, continuing here, this part is the subarachnoid septum. Okay, the subarachnoid septum. Let me just okay, subarachnoid septum. Subarachnoid septum. About the subarachnoid septum, this is a a thin fibrous partition that extends backwards in the median plane within the subarachnoid space. And this septum particularly partially separates the subarachnoid space into smaller compartments, aiding in the distribution of the cerebrospinal fluid, and of course contributes to the mechanical stability of the spinal cord, which is also important to remember. Okay, this is the subarachnoid septum. Then we have this part here, which I'm going to label here. This one is the prolongation of Pia Mater around. I'm not sure if I have enough space to write here. Prolongation of Pia Mater. Around the posterior root of spinal nerve. This one is around the posterior root of the spinal nerve, but we also have around the anterior root of the spinal nerve. Okay, so this is the prolongation of Pia Mater around the posterior root of around the posterior root of spinal nerve. And you know the Pia Mater extends laterally to cover the posterior root, okay, of the spinal nerve, and the anterior root as well, as they both exit the spinal cord. And this prolongation of the Pia Mater will ensure that the nerve roots are protected and supported as they branch out, okay? So straightforward. Okay, we have this one. What else? We have this structure right here. Let me just label here, and I'm gonna label both sides. No, just one side actually. Okay, this one. And this one is the ligamentum denticulatum. Just to remind you that this video will be on my YouTube channel, okay? In 2 hours. Ligamentum denticulatum. This is the ligamento denticulatum. And about the ligamento denticulatum, just imagine this: a series of tooth-like projections extending from the posterior aspect of the Pia Mater, and this ligament attaches to the dura mater and helps to anchor the spinal cord within the vertebral canal. Okay, this is what you need to imagine here. Okay, actually extends laterally, not posteriorly, from the side of the subarachnoid space towards the dura mater. Sorry. Okay, so we have this one, the ligamento denticulatum. And what else? We have this part right here. Let me just add a few more details to this part here. And this one is the linea splendens. Splendens, which is a thickened band of Pia Mater in the anterior median fissure. Okay, and this one provides a structural reinforcement to the spinal cord and also contribute to the organization of the anterior surface of the spinal cord. Okay, so what else? What else? We have this part here. You probably know which part is this one. Let me just complete. Okay, this part here. All the way to this area here. And this one, guys, this one is the arachnoid mater. I already talked about the arachnoid mater. So the arachnoid mater with the pia mater creates the subarachnoid space, which is where we find the cerebrospinal fluid. I already talked about the arachnoid mater in another video, so I highly recommend you to have a look at my YouTube channel, and then you will see the information, you're going to find some information about the arachnoid mater. Okay, so and then we have the dura mater, which is the outermost layer that I can move all the way around the spinal cord. So this one is the dura mater. Oops, small mistake there. Okay, this is the dura mater. I already talked about dura mater, so I don't need to extend myself and talk more about the same structure that I already talked in another video that is also on my YouTube channel. So I highly recommend you to look at my YouTube channel, and then you are going to find the structures. So let me just finish this part here. Okay, central canal, and then I finish all the illustration related with the pia mater. So again, if you want to watch this video, is on my YouTube channel. If you are watching from my YouTube channel, great. Welcome to this community that I'm building up here on this platform. A community interested in learning more about the anatomy and some illustration as well. Okay, what else? Well, subarachnoid space is partially divided by the subarachnoid septum here, posteriorly, and the ligamento denticulatum laterally. Okay, subarachnoid septum posteriorly and ligamento denticulatum laterally, and this division can influence the flow of and distribution of the cerebrospinal fluid, which you probably already know, that is critical for maintaining homeostasis and protecting the central nervous system. Pathological implications. Disruptions or abnormalities in the Pia Mater, such as inflammation or scarring, usually leads to conditions like meningitis and or adhesive arachnoiditis. Okay, and these conditions may cause compression of the spinal cord or nerve roots, leading to neurological deficits. And in some situations, for example, during spinal surgeries, it's important to be careful when handle the Pia Mater, especially to avoid damage to the underlying spinal cord. And the presence of the ligamento denticulatum and the other fibrous bands must be taken into account to prevent complications. And when you talk about imaging studies, MRI, CT scans, as an example, they help to visualize the Pia Mater and its associated structures, and it will provide also insights into pathologies such as tumors, infections, or even degenerative changes affecting the spinal cord. And so Pia Mater is a vital component of the meningeal layers, and it plays an important role in supporting, protecting, and organizing the spinal cord and its associated structures. I already mentioned it is delicate by nature, and this is what I wanted to share with you guys. I'm gonna end this live now. I really appreciate your support. Pia Mater, okay? The video will be on my YouTube channel. If you want to watch from the beginning, is there. And thank you for your support, and I hope to see you next time, okay? Don't forget to subscribe, don't forget to follow me, and see you soon. Cheers!